Now on Nightside, breaking new details on that shooting at a beach in Florida.
No thunderstorms to track tonight. Crystal clear skies today. I'll let you know how long this beautiful weather is going to last in your first alert forecast.
4 teenagers escaped from a juvenile detention facility in Western Washington. 3 are still on the run. You're watching 4 News Now, Nightside. We begin with that breaking new details on the shooting at Hollywood Beach, Florida. Thanks for staying up with us. I'm Kirsten O'Connor. 6 adults and 3 kids were hurt in that shooting. We know at this hour the victims are being treated for injuries. In this video, which is terrifying, you can see the moment people on Hollywood Beach started running after hearing gunshots. Hollywood Beach is a popular destination about 20 miles north of Miami, and this beach was expected to have more visitors than usual today because of the holiday weekend.
People come to a holiday, enjoy a holiday weekend on the beach with their families, and to have people in complete reckless disregard of the safety of the public and to have an altercation with guns in a public setting with thousands of people around them is beyond reckless.
Police believe an argument between 2 groups led to the gunfire. 1 person has been detained so far. Police are still looking for another suspect. The search continues for 3 of 4 teens who escaped from a juvenile detention facility in Snoqualmie, Washington. Jackie Kent reports.
For the 3rd time in 2 years, a statewide manhunt for teens who escaped this juvenile detention center in Snoqualmie.
They should take more safety measures, fencing, and hiring more staff.
Authorities have named 3 of the 4 teens still missing nearly 2 days after reportedly overpowering a staff member and stealing her car, which was found in Vancouver, Washington. A guard tells Como News it's common for the teens to become violent with Echo Glen staff.
There's been a few escapes, 9 incidents where staff got beaten. I mean, just 2 weeks ago, they put 1 staff member in the hospital.
Como has not been able to talk to those who run Echo Glen about these claims. Jesse Krikorian Jr. had been serving time in Echo Glen for the murder of a 16-year-old outside a high school in Yakima. Ramon Chavez Jr. and Daniel Navarro both have criminal histories involving assault. And among the 3 escapees captured in Burien is convicted murderer Timothy Hernandez Ebanks. He also escaped from Echo Glen back in January 2022. The King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office tells us that under state law, he could not be tried as an adult for the escape.
It's very common that they keep on escaping from the Echo Glen.
After an escape last year, the detention center boosted security rounds and installed a key card-controlled front gate. Still, neighbors argue the current protocols are not keeping the community, teens, or staff safe.
The fact that it's inconsistent in the security with the kids over there, that's pretty important. If they've got the funds now, who's monitoring it? What are they doing?
Right up!
Today, hundreds visited the Washington State Veterans Cemetery to pay tribute to the men and women who gave their lives to defend our country. More than 1 million soldiers have died in America's wars. The crowd today, including surviving veterans and families of all ages, paying their respects. Today's ceremony recognized both surviving veterans for their service and those who made the ultimate sacrifice.
It's extremely important for me. I did 4 combat tours, and by the grace of God, myself and most of my men and women came home. And I always remember those that didn't come home.
Veterans told us today the best way to honor these sacrifices is to be kind and be an American who is worth the sacrifice. Well, the weather was certainly beautiful for all of the memorials today, warm, and as you mentioned, Chris, you could hardly see a cloud in the sky.
And we're going to do the same thing again tomorrow, but we all go back to work and school, and it is going to stay nice. No thunderstorms to track for a few days. We'll be in the 70s all week. We actually were in the 80s today. We'll be a little bit cooler tomorrow. The possibility of a passing shower on Wednesday, and I'll talk more about that later in the news. And then we are going to be heating up for the weekend, could be making a run at 90. I'll be talking about that later as well. High temperatures today, 80 in Spokane. It was 80 in Coeur d'Alene, Hayden, 79 at Spirit Lake, and 80 in Deer Park. Stayed in the 70s in Spangle and also out at Airway Heights. Around the region, 70s in Colville, Bonners Ferry, and Sandpoint, as well Thomas, Pullman, and St. Mary's, but we had a lot of 80s, including 88 degrees in Lewiston. Very quiet on our satellite and radar. I'm just showing you, because what a contrast it has been from the past several evenings where we've had showers and thunderstorms. Tomorrow will be a day very much like today. A little bit cooler to start. Blue skies and sunshine, a high of 78. 70 is our average high. And we'll see an increase in clouds in the evening. It'll be partly cloudy. I'll tell you about that chance of showers in the forecast and the very warm weekend ahead for next weekend in just a few minutes. Kirsten.
Thank you, Chris. Well, Hoop Fest is just under a month away, but you need to act fast to participate in the largest 3-on-3 basketball tournament in the world. If you're looking to play with your friends and have a team together, the final day for team registration is tomorrow. Now, if you'd rather not play, you can also apply to become a court monitor. You can find both links on our Hoop Fest stories on KXLY.com.
Well, the Seattle Mariners finished the weekend with a quality series win, beating the Pittsburgh Pirates and gaining a bit of momentum. But the New York Yankees were in town, and they're a whole different type of beast to deal with. The Yankees were able to tee off the Mariners rookie pitcher Bryce Miller. The 24-year-old only lasted 4 2/3 innings as he gives up 8 runs on 11 hits. And the Yankees go on to take Game 1 of the series 10-4. Now, if you're looking for some good news, Julio Rodriguez continued his hot streak as he finishes 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs, including his 10th home run on the season. Game 2 of the series has Logan Gilbert taking the mound for the M's. And we finally have a matchup set in the NBA Finals as the Miami Heat blew out the Boston Celtics in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals earlier tonight. After almost choking away the series, the Heat came out and were the aggressors all night long. Jimmy Butler scored a game-high 28 points and was named Series MVP as he avenged a Game 7 loss to Boston last year. And now they're back in the finals for the first time since the 2020 bubble. And the Heat also become the first team to make the finals that had to go through the play-in.
Life is hard. Professional sports is just kind of a reflection sometimes of life. That things don't always go your way. And the inevitable setbacks happen, and it's how you deal with that collectively. There's a lot of different ways that it can go. It can sap your spirit. It can take a team down for whatever reason. With this group, it's steeled us and made us closer, made us tougher.
And you can catch Game 1 of the finals starting on Thursday night right here on KXLY ABC4. Kirsten, I'll send it back over to you.
Alex, thank you. Well, Memorial Day weekend is the start of the most dangerous time of the year for Idaho drivers. The Idaho Department of Transportation says 80 people died on Idaho roads during what's called the 100 deadliest days last year. 75 people have lost their lives in crashes so far this year. Summer vacations can also lead to impaired and distracted driving. Roads can be dangerous for all of us. Law enforcement is reminding everyone to put down distractions, follow the speed limit, and if you're going to be drinking, make a plan to find a sober way to get home. Ryan Carrick was out fishing with his son at Corbin Park this weekend. He's now going into his 4th year of sobriety. He says he knows the harmful, lasting impacts that this has on everyone's lives.
Sober for 4 years now. You know, it ruined my life, you know, and I've worked very hard to get everything back and got my little boy back, and now I'm able to come out here on a nice Saturday morning and go fishing with them.
Carrick says there's no excuse to drink and drive with options like Uber and Lyft. As beach and pool goers dive into the summer season, many communities are dealing with a lack of lifeguards, and it could put your safety at risk. The American Lifeguard Association estimates close to half the nation's public pools need lifeguards. The shortage is forcing cities to shut down pools and beaches or turn into those swim-at-your-own-risk facilities. The CDC estimates about 4,000 people drown every year. Lifeguard training courses can cost more than $400. Some areas are offering big incentives to get workers back in the water.
Got to take it more serious, the fact that we need to train individuals, get them excited at an early age.
So examples are New York offering lifeguards more than $21 an hour. Phoenix is giving $3,000 in incentive pay. Spokane police are still searching for a man in connection to a shooting that happened over the weekend. Plus, protect your skin this summer. Common mistakes people make while they're applying sunscreen.
Track live radar on the 4 News Now weather app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Washington's Lottery and Hit 5.
I'm Jan Baldwin, and I built this. And I built this. My father, my grandfather, and my great-grandfather were all woodworkers. And they taught me the craftsman tradition that says anything worth doing is worth doing right. That's why we get all our building materials from Par. They've been part of our success for 3 generations.
Par, your total home building source since 1930. Go where the builders go.
What are you going to build?
Pop the champagne, humanity. We've done it.
Celebrate your night with big winners, shocking thrills, and living legends.
You know, I've always thought of you as Dave Jr.
Every hair on my body is standing up right now.
Jimmy Kimmel Live, weeknights on ABC.
Our priorities, they've changed.
Hey, Lexus, play my music.
It's not just about getting ahead or the constant grind. It's about knowing what you want.
Watch for traffic.
And focusing on what matters. Welcome to the next level. This is the Lexus NX. With intuitive tech and our most advanced safety system ever.
Adventure, culture, and fine wine await you in the Lewis-Clark Valley, less than 2 hours south of Spokane. Tour some of the world's most spectacular wilderness, beauty, and wildlife in Hell's Canyon. Experience the region's rich and diverse culture and history. Savor award-winning Lewis-Clark Valley wines and delicious culinary creations from a variety of local wineries and fine dining establishments. Go to visitlewisclarkvalley.com and plan your destination getaway today.
Summer travel, empty houses back home. But there's a special team that watches your property and alerts Spokane police if there's a problem. What are the biggest red flags that tell burglars nobody is home and how you can put the team to work for you? Thursday only on Good Morning Northwest.
Par, family owned since 1930. Go where the builders go.
What are you going to build?
Thanks for staying up with Nightside. Spokane police are still searching for this man you see on your screen, 33-year-old Ryan Shawls. He is wanted in connection to a shooting that happened over the weekend, and he is considered armed and dangerous. This all happened near East North Foothills and Hamilton Street. Investigators say when they arrived, they found one man who had been shot multiple times. He was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. If you see Shawls, you're asked to call 911.
If I'd have known that, I wouldn't even have came here this morning.
Well, that was the reaction several people had at Roxbury Lanes Casino and Bowling Alley in Seattle. King County Sheriff's deputies say a suspect went inside that casino and started shooting. 2 men and a woman were hit. Neighbors who live near that casino say, unfortunately, incidents like this are not uncommon.
Just been walking my dog like normally every night, and every time I walk her, it seems to be arguments in the parking lot. I've never heard of a shooting until last night, but yeah, there's always problems here now.
Well, an 11-year-old boy in Mississippi was shot in the chest by a police officer after he called 911. Darian Murray called for help after he woke up to the sounds of fighting at 4 in the morning. His mother's ex-boyfriend, who had been violent before, showed up at the house. The officer who ultimately fired his gun arrived shortly after.
I ran across the corner, and then I just got shot.
How did you come out of the room?
I came out doing this.
What did it feel like?
It felt like a taser, like a big punch to the chest.
The boy was treated in the ICU for a collapsed lung and a cut on his liver. His mother says she wants the officer who shot him charged. We still don't know why that officer pulled the trigger, but that officer does remain on paid leave.
Your forecast for tonight, mostly clear skies, 51 degrees for an overnight low. For tomorrow, a high of 78. between 5 and 10 degrees above average around the region. Sunny, warm, winds out of the southwest at 5 to 15. Down from today. It was a little breezy today thanks to a westerly flow. Here's a look at our forecast starting off at the current time. I have the surface features on here as well as the upper level winds. That westerly flow is what produced our gusts today. We're going to become more southwesterly as we get into the day tomorrow. Here's 5 o'clock Tuesday. A few clouds streaming through late in the day, but I've got my eye down on this moisture coming up from the south and how it's going to impact us on Wednesday. Maybe just a near miss, but as we get into Wednesday, we'll see some of that precipitation streaming up. Here's 9 a.m. Wednesday, mainly in Idaho. It barely crosses the border and into western Montana. We may stay dry in eastern Washington. We'll be watching this closely as Wednesday approaches, mainly because that's about the only precipitation that we have in the forecast for a while, and we could still use it. Here again is noon on Wednesday, a closer view, and then we begin drying out completely by Wednesday evening. Overnight lows tonight down in the 50s and 40s in some locations. Highs tomorrow in the 70s and 80s. Fewer 80s on the map tomorrow, but they will be back. That slight chance of showers Wednesday, then we're dry Thursday, Friday, then into the 80s for Saturday and Sunday. And that looks like a dry Lake Place kind of weekend. 89 on Monday. And it gets even warmer, but potentially even wetter in the extended outlook. I'm looking out 8 to 14 days in just a few minutes. Kirsten.
Thank you, Chris. Every year for Memorial Day weekend, Fairmont Memorial Association hosts events that bring people to the parks and cemeteries to honor veterans who have died and those who are still in our community. This Memorial Day, veterans and families came together for a Heroes Pancake Breakfast at Heritage Funeral Home. There was a flag cruise through Riverside Memorial Park, followed by Memorial Day services. Fairmont Memorial Association COO Sandra Walker says the parks are welcome to visitors, not just during Memorial Day weekend, but year-round.
That is one reason why we create events throughout the weekend, not only to honor our veterans and support other local nonprofits in our community, but it's also to make sure those that are in our care are not forgotten.
4,000 flags fly every Memorial Day there to represent veterans who have died. You can purchase a commemorative flag and plaque for your loved one or donate $75 to preserve and replace the old flags. It is looking like another summer of higher pay for teenage workers. Wages at places that typically hire teens for the summer, like amusement parks, restaurants, and retailers, are up about 5% compared to last year. We all want to make the most out of our summer celebrations without breaking the bank. And one way to keep costs down is to make a menu and create a budget. Before you head to the grocery store, check what you already have at home and then make a shopping list and stick to it.
So just plan your menu and, decide what your non-negotiables are.
Buying in bulk is also a cost-effective option. Also look for discounts, sales, and coupons so you can get the best deals on party essentials. How spending time behind bars could put you at risk for chronic diseases. That's next on Nightside.
Later tonight on Nightline, the Liver King, social media sensation, and why some young men are risking it all for a chiseled physique. Plus, Bishop T.D. Jakes on a post-COVID world and building a better America.
Stream 4 News now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
This is Dan. Dan is digging a tunnel. Dan really wants to attend the MLB All-Star Week at T-Mobile Park, so Dan is digging. Too bad no one told Dan about the $5 Hit 5 ticket from Washington's lottery. Each purchase comes with a chance to win one of 14 MLB All-Star Week prize packages. But Dan doesn't know that, so Dan is digging. Good luck, Dan. You might want to hurry. Or go get a $5 Hit 5 ticket from Washington's lottery.
92.9 CCU.
I had a lot of bad days with gout, but that one took the wedding cake.
Even with medicine, my uric acid was still too high to stop painful gout buildup. Then a gout specialist told me about Cristexa.
Cristexa is a prescription medicine for adults with gout whose symptoms are not controlled by other gout medicines.
I learned Cristexa quickly starts working to break down gout buildup.
Cristexa is an infused medicine. Serious life-threatening allergic reactions can occur while taking Cristexa. Tell your doctor right away if you have symptoms such as shortness of breath, trouble breathing, dizziness, itching, or swelling of the throat or tongue. Cristexa is not recommended if you have high levels of uric acid without a history of gout. Do not take Cristexa if you have a rare disorder called G6PD deficiency or favism. Before receiving Cristexa, tell your doctor if you have a history of heart problems and all the medicines you take. Cristexa may cause gout flare-ups, allergic reactions, nausea, bruising, sore throat, constipation, chest pain, and vomiting.
I received Cristexa for about 6 months. Now I'm in control, not gout.
Find a doctor who specializes in gout at goutdocnow.com.
Summer travel, empty houses back home. But there's a special team that watches your property and alerts Spokane police if there's a problem. What are the biggest red flags that tell burglars nobody is home and how you can put the team to work for you? Thursday only on Good Morning Northwest.
4 News Now is brought to you by Kootenai Heart Clinics.
Thanks for staying up with Nightside. Memorial Day weekend is the unofficial start of summer, and as we spend more time outside, we all need to protect our skin from the sun. The go-to tool is, of course, sunscreen. But as Robin Nance reports, not everyone applies it correctly.
It's that time of year again when many are out enjoying the warmer weather, but protecting your skin is critical.
Sunscreen is the most common and one of the easiest ways to do it. We just have to remember to use our sunscreens.
Dermatologist Susan Masick with The Ohio State University's Wexner Medical Center says sunscreen mistakes are often made when applying it.
They assume they can just apply it when they're already at their activity or they're already at the pool or the beach, but you actually have to apply it about 10 to 15 minutes beforehand. You also have to remember to reapply every 2 to 3 hours.
If you're swimming or sweating, you'll need to reapply even more often. Masick says mineral sunblocks may be easier on sensitive skin, but the best kind of sunscreen is the one you'll actually use.
We want to make sure that we're using the type that is both UVA and UVB protective, so it's broad spectrum protection.
Masick says another mistake is not using enough sunscreen. She says you can never put on too much.
We tend to quantify by, 2 ping pong balls worth of sunscreen and apply it all over. You want to make sure that you apply to all the areas that are exposed, whether it's your face, your ears, hands, feet.
And don't forget, sunscreens expire. Masick says to replace them every year. I'm Robin Nance, 4 News Now.
And sun protection isn't limited to just sunscreen. You can also protect your skin with hats, rash guards, long sleeves, and other clothing.
Well, we need all of that advice right now. That sun angle is so high, and with no clouds to filter it for the next few days. 80 degrees our high today, 70 is our average high. We're going to be above average through the 7-day forecast. Our average high will be up to 71 this time next week. We are going to be close to 90 degrees by this time next week. Our coolest day, Wednesday, still above average, and it looks like we're going to keep that trend going. Here's a look at our temperatures June 6th through June 12th. I don't know if you could see, but we are in the darkest red here. There's another layer of circles in there that take us all the way into the warmest of the warm weather. And here's something that is a little surprising, just because those above average temperatures frequently come with below average precipitation this time of year. A chance of above average precipitation. I think we're going to keep that chance of thunderstorms going just about every day through that time period after a little bit of a break. We could use the rain. That was nice about the thunderstorms recently. Nothing today, and we're more than 2 inches below average, at least at Spokane International Airport. U.S. Drought Monitor, released every Thursday, has part of North Idaho down into parts of the LC Valley in the moderate drought right now, drier than average through parts of the Palouse and even the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area under that drier than average category. Pick of the night tonight, a beautiful sunset, and this was taken by Lee Partica, our friend, up on Sundance Mountain, and that is just at the very southern portion of Priest Lake on the east side of the mountain. So we're looking, Priest Lake's probably somewhere down in there. You can't see it, but it's a beautiful sunset from Lee, and thank you so much for sharing that with us. Gorgeous.
What a view.
Yes.
Wow.
Kirsten?
Inspiring to go hiking. A new study shows spending time behind bars could put you at risk for chronic diseases. Justin Finch reports.
1 in 15 adults over the age of 50 have experienced incarceration during their lifetime in the United States. And this number has been increasing over recent years. A new study shows having a history of incarceration may be linked to chronic diseases later in life. Researchers studied more than 900 adults 50 years or older who had spent time behind bars at least once in their life. They learned that whether these adults had been incarcerated for 1 month or 12 months, they all had a higher risk of chronic lung disease, mental health conditions, and heavy alcohol use. They also had a higher risk of brain dysfunction, difficulty seeing and hearing, and being able to take care of themselves on a daily basis. The study suggesting that health may worsen after being in jail or prison because of the living conditions, limited access to healthy food, physical activity, or health care. Having a history of incarceration can also make it difficult to obtain employment or housing, which can both contribute to poor health. With this Medical Minute, I'm Justin Finch, ABC News.
The Seattle Mariners were looking to start off the week right with a win, but the New York Yankees were in town and presented all kinds of problems for the young team. Alex Crescenti has the highlights coming up in sports.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
More Americans choose ABC News, America's #1 news source.
At Fred Meyer, we want our fresh produce to meet your expectations, which is why we do up to a 27-point inspection to check for things like color and scarring. Because when it comes to fresh, higher standards mean fresher produce. Fred Meyer, fresh for everyone.
You know, at first I was shocked when I won this Porsche Macan from Northern Quest, but then I realized someone had to win. Why not me? Life is crazy. Heck, it's gotten to the point where nothing surprises me. Hey. Beer me.
You could win a brand new Porsche Macan. Only in Northern Quest.
Did you know that Banner Furnace and Fuel is a locally owned propane company? That's important because it means consistent pricing. No games, no gimmicks, and no hidden fees. You can relax knowing that a propane quote from Banner is what shows up on your bill. No hazmat fee and no delivery fee. That's why people really trust Banner. So go ahead, compare your winter heat bill, and then call Banner for your propane quote. Banner Furnace and Fuel, locally owned for over 90 years.
When you download the Fred Meyer app, you have easy access to savings every day and get personalized coupons sent straight to your phone. Save big today when you download the Fred Meyer app. Fred Meyer, fresh for everyone.
Well, the Seattle Mariners entered this evening red hot, winners of 7 of their last 9, and had all the momentum in the world. Expect when you face the bats of the New York Yankees, that momentum can be extinguished very quickly. Well, things got off to a rough start for rookie pitcher Bryce Miller, as Aaron Judge says, "Welcome to the big leagues." A laser off the left field pole, and the Yankees take the lead in the 3rd. 1 of 2 homers on the day for Judge. He leads the American League with 17. Top of the 4th, Yankees still with a lead, and Jake Bauers is going to launch one to deep right off of Miller. Another home run, and the Yankees are extending that lead out to 4-1. Miller would only last 4 2/3 innings. Bottom of the inning, Julio Rodriguez lines this one to deep left off of Domingo German, and the home run, the solo home run, cuts that lead in half. Julio, quite the hot streak for him. Bottom of the 5th, now Julio back on. He singles off to right off of German, and he has 3 RBIs on the night for him, and that lead is 8-4, but still not going to be good enough because in the 9th, we're down to our last runner, or last out there for the there it is. Yankees win this one 10-4.
Going, it just was a rough night for him. That's going to happen once in a while. It happens to the best of them, you know. And I don't want him to get his head down at all. He'll get the ball again in next turn around, and I'm sure he'll make some adjustments there. But.
And the NBA Finals begin on Thursday as the Denver Nuggets have been waiting a week to find out who they're going to be playing because this series between the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics just won't seem to end, but a Game 7 tonight would decide the winner of the Eastern Conference. Let's get to it. In the first quarter, Heat lead by 10. Haywood Highsmith pokes the ball away from Jason Tatum, and he's going to finish the nice fast break for the layup, Miami extending that lead. Next quarter, Miami still in control. Kyle Lowry with a nice pass to Duncan Robinson gets the bucket to go. Duncan would finish with 10 off the bench. End of the half now, Jimmy Butler has a good look in the corner, fading away. That 3 is good as Miami is 24 minutes away from their 7th finals since 2006. Boston would cut the deficit to 7, but the Heat were not about to be the first team to blow a 3-0 lead in a series. Robinson gets the bucket to go and extends the lead to 21 as they pull off an improbable run, becoming the first team to play in the NBA Finals. They had to go through the play-in. Heat culture lives on.
We know we have more work to do, but damn, is this hard. It is hard. It's hard business, and it's hard to survive 3 rounds just to get to that final round.
Everybody's confidence is so high. We got to believe that we can do something incredibly special. So we're going to hit the ground running when we get to Denver.
So the stage is set in Miami for Miami-Denver in the NBA Finals. Game 1 is set for Thursday evening, and you can catch that right here on KXLY ABC 4. And we also have the Stanley Cup Finals set as the Vegas Golden Knights took care of business this evening, beating the Dallas Stars in Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals. The Knights left little to no doubt in this one as there was not going to be a Game 7. They scored 3 goals in the first period and just didn't look back from there. They go on to win this one 6-0 and advance to their 2nd Stanley Cup final in franchise history, and they will meet the Florida Panthers, who are also in their 2nd Cup final in their history. So both teams looking for their first championship in franchise history. Something has to give starting Saturday night. 4 News Now. We'll be right back.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
If your checking account isn't earning you money, it's time to switch to bonus checking from Numerica. The account that earns an incredible 2% annual percentage yield. That could earn you up to $500 every year or more.
I was scared the night you overdosed, but I was prepared. I brought naloxone with me. I learned when to use it. I learned how to use it. And I know you trusted me to use it. I held your hand tight when you woke up, because I wanted you to feel safe. Your life is worth saving, friend, and I would save it again if I had to.
Who has the deals? Furniture Row! Who has the deals? Furniture Row! The Memorial Day Super Sale was so great, we just had to extend it. And with trucks still rolling in, the savings keep getting better and better. The more you buy,
the more you save. Save $100 for every 1,000 you spend.
Check out special purchases while they last. And financing? We're talking 6 years, no interest. But don't wait. The extended Memorial Day Super Sale at Furniture Row ends soon.
Dear 2030, we look forward to seeing you.
After our 160-point quality assurance inspection, we'll be Toyota certified used vehicles with 7-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranties. Not to honk our own horns, but the best new cars make the best used cars. Yours, Toyota.
To learn more about Toyota certified used vehicles, see your local Toyota dealer today. Find yours at toyotacertified.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
More beautiful day.
And more just like it ahead. 70s. Everybody loves the 70s.
I can't argue with that.